Hi everyone, Albert Flynn DeSilver here, author of the memoir Beamish Boy and the brand new Writing as a Path to Awakening. Happy holidays and welcome to video number 4, Procrastination. How many of us can relate to procrastination? This is the number one, I think this is the number one hindrance that we face as writers, as meditators, as human beings. Like, how do we transcend procrastination? And if you think about procrastination for a moment, you'll realize that procrastination is really a form of resistance, right? It's a form of resisting. Because in my experience, writing is a very courageous act. It's an act of becoming vulnerable and exposing ourselves, our emotional selves, to the world, or at least to the page to start off with. And that's enough to really keep us like, whoa, I don't know if I want to go there. And so the resistance is totally natural. It's so natural that we would experience resistance in the wake of that truth. You know, I think a lot of people get into writing or any creative act pretty casually, like, oh, sure, yeah, I'll do a little writing, whatever, without really considering the emotional impact and the courageousness involved in that act. So I want to honor you for that, for taking the leap. And the same is true, I think, with meditation. Because to sit down and to get quiet is to get real with what's really up for you in the world. And that can be really harrowing. And so we need to have compassion for ourselves, to have patience for ourselves, and to realize that procrastination, resistance, it's part of the deal. And the more comfortable we can get with it, the more familiar we can become with those sensations of resistance, of procrastination, I think the better off we'll be and the more power we'll have to transcend them. And so let's begin by thinking about, like, okay, how do I deal with this procrastination? How can I begin to transcend it? The first thing is to get curious about it. What is it? What is resistance? What is procrastination? What is that sensation in the body? And that's really what it is, right? It's an energy in the body. It's sort of this lethargic, in my experience, it's kind of this lethargic inertia pull. It's like a dead weight that's sort of pulling you down, making you tired. And so the first thing to do is to become aware, to get quiet, to allow time for silence in your experience, in your day. And whether that's 10 minutes or an entire hour, if you can devote yourself to a period of silence every day just to be with the experience of resistance, to get curious with procrastination. The direct experience of it in your body. What's it like for you? You know, to really tune into that. That's number one. That's step one. And so take time to do that. And what you might notice, check in for yourself, but in my experience, what I've noticed over time is that this resistance is a sensation in the body. And it arises and it passes away. As is the nature of all sensation, thought, idea, belief. They're fleeting. They're temporary. As is this whole human body, this whole experience is temporary. And that's a kind of a harrowing thought. That's a harrowing reality too. But it's also a very empowering one. And so if you can bring your awareness, allow your awareness to expand around this experience of sensation, of resistance, the sensations of resistance and procrastination, and get curious about it, you'll be empowered to make some changes. And a couple of different things you can do. One is to create a new definition for writing. Redefine your relationship with writing and what you want that relationship to be in your life. And redefine it in a very powerful and important way. So kind of reassigning its importance level like you would a dentist appointment, or you would a doctor's appointment, or you would a major meeting with your boss, or something important at your job. It's got to take that level of importance in your awareness and your consciousness. Otherwise, you'll continue to walk over to the fridge and grab a snack. You'll continue to check your email and just be distracted and procrastinate and put it off another day. Oh, I'll get to it tomorrow. But no, you have to redefine that relationship as a priority. And then the second thing you want to do is to claim the actual block of time. Whenever you can do this, whether that's 10 minutes or an hour or 2 hours, or whatever you can spare, claim that block of time. Check in with your family, calendar it, make it as important as you would any appointment. This is my writing time. This is sacred. This is what I've committed to because I've redefined my relationship to this writing thing. And the same is true with meditation. These things go hand in hand. So claim that actual time and make it at least 10 minutes. You should really be able to create 10 minutes in your life for some free writing at the bare minimum. And remember, time is not something that you have or you don't have. Time is something that you create. You'll notice that all the priorities in your life, whether they're healthy or unhealthy, you make the time for them, right? And writing, meditation should be no different. Think of it as nourishment. Think of it as food. It's that important. Okay, and number 3 is to prioritize this chunk of time in your day as like the first thing that you do. Now, some people might say, oh, well, I'm much better writing at night. Well, okay, if you can stay consistent with that, I tend to get really tired and drift off at night. Some people have more energy at night. And if you can make that commitment, you can redefine your relationship at that hour for your writing and for meditation without falling asleep or drifting off or bailing, then awesome, go for it. But in my experience, most people tend to be most alive, most awake in the morning and make it happen first thing. And that way, you've also sort of gotten it out of the way. Not that it's something that you want to get out of the way, but that you're attending to it first. What's that thing they call at work when you're trying to avoiding the most difficult task? Eat that frog, I think is what they say. So eat the frog of writing, as it were, at least until you get to the point where it becomes habit. And then it becomes pleasurable, and you're in a rhythm, and you're excited about what's going to come up next in your mind and in your heart and through your hand. Because you never know. That's the beautiful thing about writing. Every time we come to the page, something new. We have new knowledge. We have new information. We've been doing more reading. Our consciousness is different. Our mood is different. We've been exposed to a whole another day of new ideas. And this affects our writing. This affects our creativity. And so if you can meet that page with excitement and with curiosity, procrastination won't be an issue. And so I hope that's helpful for you. And thank you so much again for tuning in. This is video number 4 in our little training series. And I will be back next week with a little holiday gift for you. I want to thank you always for tuning in. Happy holidays. And till we meet again, till we see you next week, live well, love well, and write well. And I will see you next week. Thanks always.